Oh, Gwen-Maker-of-Things has a question I really dig. I'm having fun, they say, with the restoration of a lathe. Thanks for the recommendation for Evapo-Rust. Evapo-Rust, Evapo-Rust. Evapo-Rust is so awesome. It is a non-toxic rust eliminator. If you leave stuff in it for a long time, it can actually change the finish of the metal that you're derusting, which is sometimes to your advantage, but it's spectacular. It can be reused. It's non-toxic. It's great stuff. But Gwen-Maker-of-Things goes on, after a day of working its chemical magic, the smell is indescribable. And then they go on to not describe it. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Then Gwen asks, what processes have surprised you with unexpected sensations? The grown-up equivalent of peeling glue off your fingers. The grown-up equivalent of peeling glue off your fingers is peeling glue off your fingers. Like, I love when I'm doing a lot of woodworking and I get the carpenter's glue on my fingers. And I actually, when I first started really getting into 3D printing, I said to my wife, this is a hobby for anyone who likes picking scabs. There's very much that kind of thing going on. Look, I love the smell of WD-40. That smells like work to me. It's an old smell to me. It's deep in my soul. But one of my favorite smells is a smell you might have smelled in a military surplus or any of those amazing prop suppliers of electronics and hardware down in Los Angeles. And it's the smell of cosmoline, which is a rust inhibitor and protectant. So the inside of this smells deeply of cosmoline, which is this sweet, oily, greasy, sort of crayon-like smell. It's lovely. It's really, really lovely. And it's actually, when you're in the restoration hangar at Udvar Hazy at the Smithsonian, lots of things smell like that. That's one of my most evocative smells, because it very much is like the first things I was taking apart as a young person often had this smell to them. And yeah, it sparks the feeling that something's being discovered. That's what I like about it. The other smell I really dig is generated by this machine, although this is about the oldest and most mid-century version of it imaginable. This is a smoke machine, and this takes mineral oil smoke, which is less and less common these days. There are more innocuous smokes. The mineral smoke can actually cause people some discomfort, so I believe in general it's often being phased out of film productions. But this Bakelite masterpiece, I've covered this on the channel. We've talked about this thing. This is one of my favorite things in the world. And when it puts out smoke, that smell, it was like the most pervasive smell of most of the film sets I spent my youth on commercial sets. There were other ways to make smoke, like bee smokers and incense. Those are all terrible things to have to work around. The mineral smoke is quite gentle compared to those, and there are even gentler ones now. Those are the smells and the scents that I really dig. I wanted, before I went on too long, also, because you guys know how much I love searching eBay for old tools and the things that people aren't collecting. And a few years ago, I picked this up. I'm often searching for vintage or antique hammers on eBay, specifically because they are pennies on the dollar. I think I paid $12 for this. And I love this little thwacker. It has a great amount of, it's got just the right amount of momentum for a lot of the thwacking I like to do. I don't know what kind of plastic this is, but I was like, I wonder if there's another plastic hammer on eBay. So last week I was like, plastic hammer, and lo, its brother showed up. This was, I think, $16. Again, it's a crime not to collect these things. This is my new favorite acquisition. I'm very pleased to have a little bit of a heavier thwacker, and I love these handles too. This one is really quite refined in its really nice curvature. This is trying the same thing. It's not quite as good, but again, find something you like, go search for something slightly equivalent. This is literally like the third result of my second search term. It was very fast that I discovered it. And I keep banging on about it, but still no one seems to be collecting this stuff, which is great. Great for you, great for me. I used to write a column for Wired magazine. It's God, now about 10 years ago. Back when Scott Dadich was the editor. And at one point, I was like, what should I write about? And they're like, write about whatever you're interested in. And I'm like, well, this week I'm interested in the Curta computer, which is the most advanced calculator until the digital calculator came out. This thing could go between 9 and 13 places. It's a very, very robust little machine. And I had been obsessed with them for a long time, but I had never bought one. And then I was about to start writing this article for Wired magazine about the Curta computer. And I thought to myself, the very act of publishing this will generate some interest in the Curta computer, which would likely rise the cost to me. So I bought one. That happened a couple of times with the Wired column where I did that. Edwin Bear, hello, says that they have taken my advice, and in their small home shop, they've started using Baltic birch ply for small, sturdy projects, and they love it. Yeah, you love it. Baltic birch ply is so good. It's awesome. I like finding old cabinets I built and taking them apart just to get more Baltic birch ply into my collection. I love it. Ultimately, I would glue it together, but I have been holding it together with a DeWalt Electric 16-gauge brad nailer. But this brad nailer, at max strength, is not powerful enough to go all the way through a piece of 1/4-inch Baltic birch ply. Really? Do you have an idea of what tool I should use? I do not have pneumatic air in my shop. Do you think I should just switch to screws? Oh, okay. A DeWalt. Just a second. I'm mic'd up, so I'm just going to go look at and see if I do have. Okay, cool. I do have one of these. No, that's not the brad nailer though. No, the brad nailer is this one. Okay. Nope. Right. So, thanks for your patience. This is a DeWalt nailer, but that's like a roofing nailer. This isn't what we're talking about. This is a brad nailer, and it's the Milwaukee. The thing is, your brad nailer, brad nails are a little larger than the finest nails you can shoot. These are, there you go, and that's how big they are. Your machine should be powerful enough to push its way through a 1/4 inch of Baltic birch ply. I really think it ought to. On these guys is frequently a dial somewhere. Where is this one? There's frequently a dial somewhere for upping and lowering the amount of force. That might be part of it. And I would just ask yourself to look at the manual and maybe see if you've got it turned up, or maybe you have it turned all the way down. And one of the nice things about being able to tune how hard you're hitting these nails is that you can tune it so that they land perfectly flush or just under flush. And the DeWalt tool ought to be at least as sensitive and versatile as this one. So I would exhort you to look for a tuning knob to adjust the amount of pressure it's hitting with. But I mean, full stop, these guys are built out of the store to be able to drive a brad through a 1/4 inch of ply. I really swear. That should work for you. Thank you for watching. I wanted to talk to you about Tested membership. The Tested members are a key community that we find really, really remarkable. That's very separate from Tested and from YouTube. The Tested members, they buy each other memberships during our live streams. So if you're wondering whether to become a member, watch one of our live streams and someone may just give you one. It is hard to overestimate how much the Tested members actually make possible on this channel. They give us a lot of wiggle room. They give us a huge amount of feedback. That's a member right now. Thank you so much for enjoying your membership. Subscription for everything you need to know. And for all the members out there, thank you, thank you, thank you.